It is seeing that camera, see, right in front of that.
I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, so it's live now because it's 10, so it's going to be showing this. And let me just move the whole.
Just follow the signs. I can't describe it. Battery's not full. Yes. It's fine. It should be fine.
Guys, it's dying again. Just keep it charging for a bit. We'll get to it. We keep charging batteries, yeah, so it's charging. Look at that. It's out and it's still red.
That helps.
As long as it's connected to each other. So now, the battery charging.
It's fine. Yeah, but it's blurry.
I think we should have just changed it. I can just keep asking them to take their legs. Oh, how do I see that kind of change? Oh, okay. I wanted to see it on the live stream. Bro, please show me that this came on the live stream. Which one?
That one.
Oh, that's why you keep taking up the ISO. Because I keep. Did you take up the ISO on that camera? Hey, let me just change this on itself because I keep taking it down. And then I get this high. this one looking weak? Or it's the right balance?
Thanks to this guy.
Check if they look close, similar. She just put it on 5.5K on both. The thing is, it goes to warm. Goes to warm. Yes, or what? This one is on. Switch, let me see. Try and match this one. Don't change this one. Change that one. Which one? Match this one to this one. That one. Yeah. This one is okay. This one is looking clean and nice. Go to the other one. This side. Or maybe there's too much white in the middle. That's why. It's lighter. Because right now they're on the same. What's what? But I can just. No, it's fine. I'll just adjust in increments. Is the lat one on that one? Because you have to check if the lats are on. The lats. Yeah, the lats are on both.
Good morning. How are you guys doing today? You don't sound excited, guys. Come on. How are you doing today? That's awesome. I'm feeling very good today. If you ask me, you find things. A lot of people are still trickling in, but in the interest of time, I'm thinking we should just start now. Thank you very much for coming through today. My name is Tumelodi Chabe. I'm a business advisor at Technoserve. Been with Technoserve for the past 4 years, and I'm really enjoying the journey of transforming people's lives. In the house today, we have Old Mutual. Old Mutual is our partner in putting this event together. Please give them a round of applause. Today is the second session, the second day of our GEW event, where we are focusing on township economy. And I explained yesterday that township economy is a focal point merely because of the fact that it brings in so much to our GDP as a country, but it's not taken seriously. There are no systems in place. There are no strategies to take it forward. We have a global marketplace, but we're not plugged in. And Old Mutual, Technoserve, we also have Riversense over here as well. All these companies are coming together into the space to ensure that we are able to help you, the township entrepreneur, succeed. Yesterday's session, if you're part of it, we spoke about a lot of things. We spoke about the fact that this entrepreneurship journey is a very difficult journey. It needs you to be schizophrenic. Today you wake up, you're excited, you're like, I'm winning. The next day, something totally different. The next day, something totally different. The one moment you are excited, the next thing you have a mini depression episode. So it needs you to understand that it's rough, tough, and dangerous. But we do it dangerous, and we make sure that we still prosper. In the end, the lessons that really came out of the yesterday's session is that we need to mobilize as entrepreneurs. We need to start complementing one another instead of competing with each other. And this way we will succeed. I don't know who can see my... Yeah. Can you see my shoes?
Yeah. I'm saying I need to be switching to different
Township
from that.
Township economy.
No, I'm saying.
And I believe that's what we're supposed to be doing for each other. You're supposed to be wearing your neighbor's t-shirt. You're supposed to be wearing the person next to you. You're supposed to be wearing their shoes or their jacket, something. Just to show that we are complementing one another, not competing with each other. Before we start, go through the house rules. Punctuality is key. I thought today we needed to start on time because yesterday we started very late. So punctuality is key. The sooner we settle down and start, the better off we are. And we are also able to finish all activities. And cell phones, let's keep our cell phones on silent or switch them off for the entirety of the session. This makes for proper engagement with no disturbances. And restrooms. Restrooms for the gentlemen. If you just go out this way towards the left, there's a passage going towards the mall. There's a restroom on either side of the passage. And for the ladies, past the left, you go left, that's where the restrooms are. And we encourage active participation, guys. you are bringing something, you have something in your hand today, please leave it. Please leave it with somebody. Please leave it with us. Share an idea. Give a word of wisdom, encouragement, something. Buy someone else's product whilst you're here. That will also encourage the next person. And let's respect one another. Let's not talk over each other. Let's respect one another. Give each other time to speak. And immediately after the session, we will have lunch on the other side. There's a time for networking. There's a time to get to know a person next to you. Take it very seriously. That person next to you could be holding a key to your business that opens a door that you've been meaning to open for the longest time. And if you use the hotel parking, please ensure that you do not leave without exchanging your ticket for a paid ticket so that when you get out, you do not have to pay. And what we also encourage is honest feedback. We had a session yesterday, and we value the feedback that you gave to us yesterday. So you're going to receive an email immediately after the session. Please give us honest feedback about the food, about the presentation, about the length of the session. This way we know that tomorrow we'll have a better day than we did the previous. Welcome everybody. Thank you very much for honoring us with your presence. Today is a jam-packed day. We're talking pitching. We're talking pitching. We need to know how to talk to people about our business. Because sometimes the reason why we are not successful in putting our names on the map is we are not able to communicate our brand and articulate it clearly so that a potential investor can look at that and say, this is awesome, I love it, I want to invest in it. So it's very important that we learn how to pitch. And to get us off, I'm going to invite my dear friend, Mr. Ptiles, to come and take us through this session. He will also introduce the judges and tell us exactly what's going to happen today. Give him a round of applause, please.
Thank you, American guy. A very good morning, everybody. I will not waste too much time. We don't have a lot of time. I'll just speak about the process and how it's supposed to flow. I do also want to introduce my esteemed judges so that you know who you are pitching to. But it's a lovely day, guys. Can I see some smiles? We should be able to enjoy ourselves. We are here to talk about our passions. We are here to talk about money. It's always a nice topic, isn't it? Yes. Just quickly to my judges, before we even continue, I do have Uputimzi. Uputimzi, kahle igama lakhe maliphelele it's Mzingane. Mzingane Kahla. He is from Riverside. If you guys are familiar with Riverside, it's the biggest incubation in Africa. They have this space in the north, just near Deep Sloot. I'm sure you've seen it. Very huge space. They are able to house our entrepreneurs. Very lovely work that they do in Riverside. Check them out. Please go online, Google, and find out more about them. And also, he's mostly in charge of growth sustainability. So if you are really looking into growth and sustainability, that's the man to talk to. Okay? And then we have Madam Kanya. Madam Kanya is from Old Mutual. Madam Kanya is basically the executive head of SME Business Solutions in Old Mutual. She's very passionate about finding our business solutions and excellent funding. This means some of the tough questions that we have about funding, she's able to listen to you and she thinks around solutions all day around it. So please talk to her as well, even after this. I'm giving you that kind of talk to them and Google because not everyone will pitch today. We only have 6 pitchers today, but you are always more than welcome to go to our judges and talk to them about some of their products. Even tomorrow they'll be here telling us a little bit more about funding. And then of course we have Uputum Piti Dao. Uputum Piti is from the IDF. Uputum Piti, interestingly enough, actually has worked with the Technoserve in the past. Very familiar with our processes, so he can correct me anytime, even right now. But thank you so much for joining us. IDF, also Google them, please. Find out more about them. He's the stakeholder relations executive at IDF. What he told me for a fact when we were preparing for this is that, look, I always like to listen to entrepreneurs because I'm always building up a pipeline. What that means is even if you did not get to pitch today, this is the guy to talk to if you are really interested in funding because he's always looking for entrepreneurs that are looking for funding. then he goes and talks to his stakeholders. Is that fair enough? And then, of course, of my 6 pitchers, we will be starting with Madam Bafedile. Can you please come up front? Let's get Please don't make her nervous. Give her some time before she nervous. Now, how the process is supposed to go, because I'm looking at the time and we'll need some time given at the end. We had given you guys 20 minutes to pitch, 15 minutes with 5 minutes for questions, but can I please shrink it to 10 minutes to pitch with 5 minutes for questions from my judges? The reason why we want to do this is because at the end we have to give you feedback, we have to say who won the pitching challenge. We can't do that after a person has presented. We usually give you your feedback when you are online because other people don't hear you. We don't want to give unfair advantage to the other pitchers. So please wait for your comments till right at the end. My judges, please note who is pitching and take down your comments so that right at the end we'll be able to give that kind of generalized overview feedback. Fair enough? I think, Madam Bafedile, are you ready? We are good to go. Again, a round of applause.
Yeah, this is the stream. Let me just show you who's
Yes, speaking to you, please.
Greetings all. My name is Bafedile. Basically, we are Bafedile for construction. We are based in Pretoria. Currently, we are signed with Enza Construction, who are giving us mentorship. So we are depending more on them to grow. So their responsibility is basically to hold our hand and walk us through the journey of construction industry. So we specialize more on general building and civil, and they do give us the opportunity to to get projects. So what happened is that unfortunately they were unable to fund us because they normally fund us from the 3.5% of their income or of their revenue. So unfortunately we were some of the companies that were signed with them, but we were not afforded an opportunity to be funded by them as we were expecting, but we were promised that they will support us next year, that is in 2023 financial year. So what is happening for now is that we have to avoid accepting some of their projects because we did not have funds. Isn't it that we are unemployed? So basically, with them, sorry for that. So basically what is happening right now is that we decided to take one of the projects that they offered us only last month in October, because we signed with them this year around May. So we only managed to take the one that did not demand so much of funds, that was demolition services. It did not demand much, but still it was strenuous for us because we did not have anything. You should have been there when I was accepting the offer. I was pretending as if I will be able to handle it, but then I did not want to miss the opportunity. I mean, so I agreed to everything. They were asking me, are you going to be able to deliver? I said, yes. Do you have money? Yes. But I did not have anything. The first thing that happened when I got out of the boardroom, it was stress. I had to call my family to help me, but then at the end of the day, we won. So at the moment, we don't have, pertaining to clients, having to go out there to seek clients. We don't really have so much of the burden because at least we are signed under construction. They source clients and then they give us projects. So it is not so much of burden for us. So we decided to take a break to learn from them, to learn quality work and to offer our clients good services. So we are still learning, and then we are not in a hurry to really go out there and work independently. Rather, we focus to give excellent services to our clients under Enza Construction. So that's where we are right now. So because we are signed with them for 3 years, we know that that's the promise they gave us. They said if we work well with them, if we maintain the relationship, if we give them trust, then they will be able to renew their contract. So we are still in the first year, so we are still building relations with them. So the challenges that we are facing, especially after receiving the demolition services, after receiving the demolition project last month, we did not have tools. We had to rent out tools. You can imagine the stress of not having funds and that you need tools. We needed tools, we needed transportation for our workers, the tools to the site, and then we needed consultation with the safety officers. You know, construction is one of the dangerous environments, so people die there for real. So we had to consult with safety officers, and is another charges. And then quantity surveyors, we need to consult with specialists so that they can help us, take us through that journey, and that demands some sort of funds. So we need to also purchase PPEs and then safety wear for our workers. Currently, we are employing about seven employees. So again, with the salaries, and then before the the workers could even enter the site, they need to go for medical checkups so that they are safe. They need to check them to say they are protected. They become aware as to what is it that they can expect from the site. The stationery we also need 2 extra employees. Phone calls to make a call when you don't have. It's a struggle. Also to access internet is a struggle. So the solution, of course, it would be for us to get support, to get tools, because at the moment, what we specialize with is a brickwork. We need tools for brickwork. We need tools for demolition. We need tools for painting, of course, and plastering as well. So also, yes, of course, the PPE wear, the safety wear, and then funds to be put aside for medicals and for consultations with our specialists, and then to get a space of an office, and to also market our services. But like I said, we don't have pressure on that because ENTRA has got clients, and then they just give us projects. So we are not in some sort of a pressure, under pressure on that one. Again, the reason why we are holding on is because we believe that there is a prospect of growth in construction industry. In fact, it is there. It is there. Everybody needs something new property, new roads, and all sorts. So there are challenges in the construction industry where they will tell us to say so and so site. There's a challenge of mafia they're trying to hijack the project, but then at the same time, still there is a growth. According to the research that I've done, so far it was found by Property Will to say, even though there's been a decline during COVID-19, but still, construction sector has seen so much growth in the Q2 of this year, as compared to even Q1 of 2022, whereby it had about 2.4 growth, and then now in Q2 it's about 4.1. So the building material sales also went up, and also I also spoke to our manager yesterday as I was doing the research, because we're still new. I was asking her to say, what is it, what revenue can we expect as your beneficiaries? And then she said, normally per year it goes from between 500,000 to 50 million, depending on the offers that we get. So we need to build good relationships with them and deliver quality services so that we can be afforded an opportunity to work with them, and to work with them. So still on growth, the search that I did it shows that from the government side, they did indicate that they will be investing about 791 billion on public service, but then again we still have the need for good roads, for good properties. So the need for construction is still there. It won't die down anytime soon. So the growth is highly possible. So it needs people like us to to hold on and know that we're going to grow. It's only that starting from the ground is very difficult. So from our side as a small company, and thanks to our business advisors, Stella Butelezi, he came up with this idea to me to say, he was presenting to me to say, since you are in a construction, in construction and general building, why don't you think of also, involving stock first? Because stock first, people group themselves to put some few amount of money trying to build each other's homes. So why don't you offer your services to them at maybe at a reasonable rate, whereby we will see how we work it out. We haven't worked it out as yet, but with my team, of course. But when Stella was giving me this idea, I loved it, and I would love to start working on it. So also to work with companies that manage stock fairs like that, to say they can sell our ideas to them, and then also as we build those houses for them, we then thought we can even learn to build free houses for elderly citizens in our country. Maybe one house out of 10 houses that we built for the stock fairs. And also we are planning to enter into blending. Blending is a sector where they do cement manufacturing. We don't have many in South Africa. So far, I've spoken to 2 of the elderly citizens. They've been in the industry for more than 30 years. They are willing to impart their skill. Unfortunately, even their children, they are not interested. So we kind of are willing to go for that. So let me do quickly because of time. I would love to share so much. So where did I start with the construction? I started as a sweeper in the construction industry. I developed love with it. I just developed interest and then decided to say, let me register my own company and start doing something out of it. And that's why I'm here. So the team members, we do consultations with specialists, the quantity surveyors, the safety officers, and so forth. We've got 6 general workers. We've got safety officers, of course, on site, and then I also have the business partner who he's not here now. So our request from our funders will be that if we can just get a buggy to transport our people, because of course when you get a site, you want to employ people next to that site. So they struggle with transport money. So at least if you can move the tools and then move the workers to and from home, and also to get them to have funds to buy them safety wear and all those kind of PPEs, and to also have money aside for QS services and safety officers, and then get them medicals and then accounting services, and then to also start new projects like the one of the stock fairs and then the one for blending. I think let me close because of time. I wanted to share so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sis Mafedile. Judges, I'm sure you've made your remarks and you'll be able to give your feedback. I would like to call Ubotyuchi. Please come closer.
You have to put on power. One was up.
That's what's happening now.
It's okay. Start swimming. What's there? Just Are we winning? Oh, damn. Okay.
Good day, everyone.
Thank you so much for your attention.
My name is Eugene Munama. Actually, I'm the
founder of Genius Print IT Innovation. So, what is Genius Print IT Innovation?
It's a combination of IT services. Thank you. A combination of IT services and the printing at the same time. So basically, we are based in Midrand under Ivory Park Extension 2. That's where we actually do most of our services there. And then we are a team of 3. When I say we are a team of 3, I mean that these 3 people, they are the people that are working on this beautiful company, which is Genius Print IT Innovation. So most of the time, our clients actually comes from schools and also comes from the community. So what we do actually is that we provide IT solution or we provide IT support in terms of having a problem with your email or your laptop, or maybe if you have a problem with actually the support in terms of your administration, we can come and chip in there. Can you hear me, guys? Yes. Thank you. I like engaging people. Thank you. So basically, someone is like, I'm the IT support person. Yeah, it's life, I understand. So our current business situation for now, actually, we have been actually affected by COVID, and we still experience the consequences of COVID. So basically, we were working fine from 2017 until COVID came. And even now, I'm still stressed about COVID. Do you hear me, guys? So now, it happens to a point whereby after the COVID have affected us, we didn't want to die. So the best way is to sell some of our equipment so that we can be on a survival mode. And guess what? We are in a survival mode. After the COVID, but now, the problem is that as we are in a survival mode, we don't want to die again. That's why we are asking our beautiful investor to look at this beautiful company. Thank you. So our value proposition is actually made out of this. We are the creative people. We are innovative. Of course, it's just innovation. We have a good customer services, and we are professional. You can see how I'm actually wearing. This is a professionalism in a workplace. And then our channels actually, we are having one-on-one engagements with our clients, and then most of the time we get referrals from our clients, and also we advertise our product, or maybe advertise our services on social media. But because of COVID, we couldn't actually have a face-to-face engagement, which means it happens that our revenue stream in a year passes. So now, the customer segment, as I said before, we are looking towards actually our services to the schools and also for our SMMEs. Our SMMEs are actually mean you guys, you can also come and invest here. Hallelujah. Thank you. So the facts and the figures, it has proven that based on the calculations that I've made, I've realized that 70% of the revenue that I actually receive is from the printing side, and 30% is from the IT support side. But the problem is that since it is from the printing side, the problem is that I cannot be able to generate enough money because of less capital. Remember, I sold my stuff so that I can survive. So, and it has proven that the wide format printing is actually growing. So the percentage that is expected to grow is actually 1.8% by 2021 to 2025. And then it is expected to reach 12.8 billion by 2018. So which means it's going to be an error for me not to tap into that market. So the market demand is that, I want to actually, as engineers print IT innovation, we want to deal with that mentality that the only billboards that you can get is when you actually reach the cities. So we want to say, we want to get those billboards when you reach the township. And also, we want to actually say, there is also a professional and also a quality company that can be able to provide to you the vinyl, the banners, and the marketing material with a high quality machine. We can be able to do that. So our critical areas is that we are actually, we lack resources. That's why we are actually in need of wide format printer. And then the marketing material, it can actually be achieved once we can get this beautiful resource. And also the good revenue or the increase in revenue and profit, it can be achieved once we get the first guy. So need for funding, like I said it before, we want to actually increase the revenue and profit and grow township economy and have sustainable job. Purchase of the wide format printer and the lamination machine is actually about 125,000 rand. But I'm not limiting you. You can also do more. The funding impact is actually we are going to create and sustain new jobs, equip and develop communities, and promote SMEs. When I say equip and develop a community, I mean, imagine one of your son or maybe your neighbor is working at Technoserve IT innovation as a designer. Wow, it's a beautiful work. So it's a development according to us actually. So our future plan is to actually dominate the market, 6 months increase profit with at least 30%, and then SMEs, we also need to grow the SMEs within the township, expand the business with more machines. And guess what? With the program that I'm actually in, I can be able to make it because I'm currently under your bid program, which offers me a mentorship. They told me that they will never leave me, nor forsake me. From me to you, I can, and I will. Thank you.
Thank you, genius. The man is a genius. Judges, I made a mistake with the last picture. If you have any burning, clarity-seeking questions, please. Do you have any questions for Upujuji? Our next picture will be Katu. I will just step forward. Oh, yeah, no, I told you.
Morning, everyone. My name is Katu. My business name is Township. I'm from Pretoria. These are the problems we identify in the beauty industry. Our beauticians here in South Africa, they pay a fixed rental fee for the saloon's chair, the workstation, regardless of how many hours they utilize the workstation, or how much they make for that specific month. Some of these beauticians who cannot afford these high monthly rental fees are then forced to work in the corners of our streets under unhygienic conditions and in harsh weather conditions. I'm sure some of you did see some. If you pass by M10 taxi rank, you will see others working on the streets there. And access to these fully equipped saloons is only limited to those beauticians that can afford these high rental fees. And in turn, the very same saloon owners, they earn their income. The saloon owners' income is fully dependent on those beauticians who they have got signed this agreement with. So the solution we seek to bring, we aim to design and develop a mobile app that will allow beauticians to book in any saloon of their choice, in any area, to book and only pay for the time they are going to need the listed chair, this saloon workstation, on our platform. Also, part-time or full-time beauticians from our villages, from our townships, from the street corners, can now get access to fully equipped saloons without worrying about that fixed monthly rent fees. And using our platform, saloon owners will get to earn an hourly rental fee instead of waiting for money. So basically, our service is Nokia Saloon is just going to be a mobile app that lists beauty saloons workstations for beauticians to book and only pay for the time they need to use the listed workstation in area of their choice. It can be in Soweto, it can be in Joburg, you can be meeting your clients in the van, you go there, you work there, you come back home. So basically, I started this company last year in September, did a bit of research, realized the gap, paid up so far, worked on the logo, which I still believe I can improve. And I've also partnered with Cloud Technologies. This is a company that will assist me in the app development, in the design and development of the app. I also have pending mentorship and possible grant funding with TIA. We're just waiting to sign the contract with them. I've also attended various training programs with WEEKChampioned and Technoserve. Why now? The timing. We are going to eliminate the fixed rental fee, the other percentages, rent deposit, the cost of setting up own saloon, which could go up to as much as R1 million. So we are going to make it easier for other people to participate in this sector of our economy. And another reason, majority of our people, even if you can check in this room, they own smartphones, they can access the internet and mobile apps, and data prices are set to become a bit cheaper. How far are we now? Like I said, I've partnered with Cheese Club Technologies that's going to assist me in the design and development of the app. I also have the pending mentorship and possible grant funding with TIA. Our target market, who are our customers? Our customers are urban and semi-urban beauty salon owners, full-time or part-time, employed and self-employed beauticians living in the cities, in our villages, in our township, with an access to internet connection, bank account, and a smartphone. How big is the market? Our government estimates that there are about 43,000 salons in this market, and this figure, it excludes your Brajo's salons, meaning it is more than this figure. And about 15, the rough estimate, about 15,000 saloon owners, they earn a rental income of an average of about 20,000 rand a month because they sublet the chairs in their saloon. This means that 15,000 saloon owners combined earn about 300 million rand a month in rental fees. We believe we can get a share of this. And our competitors, beauticians and saloon owners are the platform biggest competitors. As they can leverage local saloon platform and take their relationship offline, which will be beneficial to all of them because they won't need to be paying the commission. But we've got enough, and our competitive advantage, our beauticians will get to take an increased take-home income, as they will now only be paying for the time they need to use the workstation, instead of just paying for the 20 days, 30 days monthly rent. Salon owners will also get to take more home, as they will be earning a time-based rental income. How are we going to make money? We are going to charge 10% of the booking fee of every successful transaction of the booking fee. We are also going to charge for promoting saloon owners' workstation to put it as number one on the list on the app. We are also going to sell advertising space to companies like Old Mutual. They've got a program called Smeggo. I mean, yesterday there was a lack of information in regards to them. They would definitely advertise on our platform to use that information to other people. So what do I need? What do we need? We are looking for 500,000, which part of it will be used for the design and development of the app, for marketing and sales testing of the app, quality assurance, fixing the bugs. Then in quarter 3 in 2023, we target to publish the app, and then in quarter 4, that's all we do, further development for the app to stay attractive and adapt to changing market condition and user feedback. And this is the team. This is myself. For now, I'm alone in the business. I am in National Diploma in Business Management. My strength lies in my ability to access information and judge it on its merit before acting on it. I have partnered with Cheese Technologies, which was established in 2018. They specialize in developing software, mobile apps, design websites, supply hardware, and electronic gadgets. Thank you. But before I close this off for a minute, what I can say is, a beautician or a barber that cuts my hair, he charges me 100 rand for the haircut. He pays 2,000 rand monthly rent. It means he needs to cut 20 guys that will pay him 100 rand to break even. But using my platform, he's only going to need 20 hours, with maybe the salon owners estimate that he's going to charge 20 rand per hour. It means that the barber now is only going to pay 400 bucks to cut 20 cuts, and then he will get to take home 1,600 rand. In that 20 hours, the salon owner will earn 400 bucks, which, if you are to calculate the 2,000 that the salon owner earns after 30 days, the salon owner is making in 20 days, you can say he's making like 100 bucks. But if in a week, in 20 hours, the salon owner makes 400 bucks, if it's an 8-hour shift for over 5 days, the salon owner gets to earn 800 bucks. You have almost tripled what you make in a week. Thank you.
Judges, do you have any pressing questions for the next speaker? Vincent, I hope you saw the Kalama. You can come through. Please just bear with us. We are checking our page for the today.
Should I take this one?
Bring me that one. One, two.
Mics. What's going on? Mics are not working.
Yeah, for the sake of time, we'll have to do it without the microphone.
The mics. Just go get the mics.
Greetings everyone. My name is Senzeni. Some of you may know me from Crazy Entertainers. I used to be this guy.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to fix.
I'm the founder and director of the company was officially registered in 2017. However, at the time I started, I was operating as a self-employed person because I didn't have business background or understanding of business. I only understood what I wanted to do. So currently, our team comprises of 5 members, 2 which are full-time and 3 which are part-time. So with the full-time team, with the full-time employees, it's myself as the managing director, and we have our account manager, which is Munya. And part-time, we have an events coordinator, because since we're in the advertising space, we find that some of our clients they need us to assist in coordinating their events, especially sports events, because we have established markets within that group. And we have a content developer who mostly focus on graphic designing, doing the graphic web, anything content related for the business as well as for our clients. And we have a media license officer for our media buying services. So the vision of the business, we want to be the advertising agents of choice. Thank you. The vision for the business is we want to be the advertising agents of choice for companies and organizations that are looking to grow their businesses or to build brand awareness.
Because now the mic is not connected.
From Pumalanga, that's where we're based in WEEKChampioned. And the mission will assist us in achieving this vision. And the mission is to provide state-of-the-art digital marketing solutions that are tailored to each business's need. So each and every product that we provide or service is different from the other business that we assist with. This is a summary of what we do. We've divided our services into 2, which is marketing and advertising, as well as graphic designing. However, for the sake of this speech,
I'll focus more on graphic designing because that's where we've noticed that there's a gap. So apart from us offering this service, there's other needs that come after in regards to graphic designing in the form of printing. So we need a large format printer to literally
That other camera's still
manage
okay,
to
no?
provide
That other
that
camera's
service.
still fine.
So we believe that for each and every business, there's a reason why it exists beyond profit. So with us, in no
It
particular
doesn't need
order,
to see the
we want
slides.
to play a role in
You
the
don't need to
growth
see
of
the
country
slides.
by providing employment opportunities that one.
It's okay.
Number two, we want to build a legacy that will outlive us, something that we can be able to pass on to the next generation and they can do the same. And thirdly, we noticed a gap in the market, hence we decided to venture into this. So where I'm based, most of the agencies or the graphic or advertising companies, they mostly do the same thing or they do it the same way. So with us, as I mentioned that we've noticed an issue, especially in the sports industry. So most agencies, they do not focus on sports because it is not for profit in the grassroots. However, with us, we noticed that actually there is a market here. As much as it is in the grassroots and they can only afford so much, but this can also be an opportunity for us to market our business. As you have seen in the previous slide, one of the photos there, it was one of the events that we are part of. And there's also 2 events that are coming up in sports, like sports tournament, and they are always packed in the stadiums. So we lose an opportunity since we are not providing the printing service because whenever we market the event, we are only able to provide the graphic side of things or the digital side of things. Whereas they also need banners, they need flyers, they need posters prior to the event. So all that money, and that's more money than the graphic design service, so it gets to go elsewhere. So this is one of our annual tournaments that we are part of, where they are media partner. We assist them generate media interest, taking them to radio stations, taking them to newspapers, and also providing the photography there. And since this is in advertising, after lockdown, we noticed that more and more people saw the importance of starting their own businesses, or if they have, growing those businesses. So this is an increasingly growing market, and with our digital services, there has never been a greater time for a company to have a stronger digital footprint than now, because almost everything is moving digital. And lastly, we are passionate about what we do. We love what we do. When it comes to the people that we are doing this for, our customers, we have divided them into 4 based on the income that we've been receiving. So we realize that we have SMMEs, startup entrepreneurs or startup businesses, sports clubs, as well as individuals or NPOs. However, most of our income comes from SMMEs because they want to rebrand, they want to create a brand, from moving from a business to developing an actual brand, and also startup entrepreneurs. When a business starts, they need a logo, the business cards, a company profile, and so forth. And here on this I've shown the high selling service, which is graphic designing. It is in. So the past few months, we've noticed that when we check our finances, graphic designing is the one that generates more income than all the other services. And it doesn't end there, because they also ask, can you assist with the printing? Yes, you design this profile, can you also assist with the printing? So it ends up being a thing of they only come to us for the designs because of what they've seen, and then they go elsewhere to print. And the challenge with partnering with other printing service providers is that they are not open in sharing their price list with us so that we can get a markup. So they would rather, each time we have a client, we go to them and get a quote. And that kind of, because all the clients we acquire, not all of them buy. So we find that 20 clients are acquiring for something and only 4 will buy. So it means we get 20 quotes, and it will kind of be an inconvenience to the service provider. When it comes to our business model canvas, we've divided it into 3
and we've identified the areas which we feel are stable, which we feel are moderate, and those that we feel are critical. So when it comes to the critical areas, one, it's the key resources. So with the resource that we need, which is a large format printer, it will assist us in adding more activities in the business, which will subsequently assist in increasing our revenue stream. So this is where we are looking at when it comes to our business model canvas. However, our customer segments, relationships, USP, channels, key partners, and construction, we feel we are okay there. But here, it's very critical. It's the things that we need to work on. So here is our journey. This is where I started. I used to have meetings with the students. I used to use my coffee table as a desk. I used to use my bedroom as an office at some time. And even when I had calls, I'd say, okay, what to do when I get to my office? When will I be able to use my bedroom? So yeah, we've grown, and this year, after attending or joining programs like yours, we started understanding the importance of investing back into the business. We started understanding what it would do if we invest in our business and see how we can grow. So we started saving money, and we started working on our office. So this is really painting. We're trying to limit costs, so we did most of the hardware. So we were the one getting our hands dirty, the painting. However, for the jobs that needed skilled professionals, then we get them. So yeah, this is us painting. This used to be a really in the garage, but now it has become Informedia headquarters. So this is our journey, and here we are installing our branding outside. It would have been nice if we had our own printing machine, because we would just do everything in-house. And that's me when I was painting outside. So currently this is where we are. Now we are able to have meetings in our own workspace. Even when clients are asking where are you based, we are confident to say this is where we are based. And we've had meetings here. We've even had people drive from different provinces to come to where we were, so that they can have a meeting or whatever that they need. Because at times they are not confident if we are only digital, they're scared of being scared and so forth. And going back to the large format printing. So here, we decided to showcase the revenue that we generated on graphic design, divided it into 4 quarters. So this quarter is the lowest because we haven't finished it. So the green part, it shows the amount that we generated on graphic design only. And the yellow part shows the potential income we have received had we provided the printing services in-house. So most people yesterday, one of my clients was saying, I need a profile of 800 copies for next year for 2023. And unfortunately, we don't provide those, but I told them that we are looking to start doing that in January. So I'm hoping by then we'll be offering that service. So this is the potential revenue that we have generated, and we provided the printing services in-house. So the funding amount that is needed. So when we did our research, we found out that these machines, they cost between 80,000 to 130,000. So it depends on the functions, the features, the brand, and so forth. So far we've managed to raise 15,000 on our side, which I think it will come in handy should we get the branding machine or the large format printer. Then we have money to actually buy the equipment, the material to print. So we won't just have a machine and not have material. So we have money to actually start providing the service right away. The impact it would have on the business, as I've been mentioning, is that most of the monthly revenue comes from graphic designing, and it doesn't end there. Considering that we are growing each day, and what we are looking at is to venture into outdoor advertising. So with outdoor advertising, I'm talking your street pole ads, your billboards. So once we have the machine, it would mean we won't need to partner with any service provider for printing. We
we've just been providing the service in-house. All the money will stay in the business. So when it comes to our future plans, we've divided them into two. We have the short-term goals and the long-term goals. Our short-term goal, the first one is we want to provide the printing service in-house. That's one. Number two, we are planning on hiring 2 full-time employees. We've already had an interview with one. We're hoping that they will join us in January. And the other one, it would depend if we are, how soon we are able to get the large format printer. And then we add them. And then lastly, we'll be venturing into outdoor advertising. We've already engaged the municipality. We currently have an application that is in the process with the municipality. So we're waiting for them to give us feedback on that. And our long-term goals, the ideal team in 3 years is to have at least 6 full-time employees. At least, can be more depending on how quick the company grows. And we want to expand our outdoor advertising service to other municipalities apart from Wheatbank, and maybe go into 3D printing as well. And lastly, before I go, we found the secret of every successful business is that they all start in the garage. And that's where we are. So that means in the next 10 years, we probably will be like one of these that you see here. Our next feature is just going to set up in the meantime. Mrs. Anisi, she wanted to showcase her products as she speaks about her products. Judges, any participating questions for Senzeli?
Let's just want to talk about our products. Let's just be confident and then we'll be able to show our products. So,
Sanibonani. My name is Nilisio Masamuela Paholo Wagandum. I am the founder of Kasen, a shoe design and manufacturing company in City Corner, Etwazo in Bennington. It was in 2017 when my sister, Nompumelelo Masamu, was going to a traditional African wedding. She wanted shoes that would match with her Isindebele dress, but unfortunately no one offered such services at the time. I took it upon myself to take a few hand tools from home, the same matching fabric. I was able to redesign a unique and stylish pair of shoes for her. This is how Kuseni was born. We are a brand in retail that specializes in providing a unique taste of African fashion, of the evolving African fashion, with stylish, unique, handmade, durable, and custom designed shoes. We sell sandals, push-ins, closed and open flat shoes for men, women, and children. We also have the option to redesign all the worn-out shoes that we just cannot let go of. Our customers are men, women, and children who are inspired by the African fashion. They are looking for quality, unique, and stylish shoes. They are also parents who need long-lasting shoes that can still keep up with trends. Our customers are also businesses and individuals who want to design and create their own footwear. We have been operating since November 2021 and have been generating a net profit of 31% during the months of summer and spring. And we have been doing much lesser in the months of autumn and winter. This has made our product seasonal and our profit at break-even point. Our other revenue streams include reflexology and accessories. This helps us in establishing and maintaining a relationship with all of our customers. It is estimated that the South African footwear industry is worth 54.9 billion rand, with 70% of the shoes coming from, with 70% of the shoes imported, and 90% coming from China. This is because of the scarcity of factories in our country and the skill set. Today we are pitching for a tuition fee of 58,000 Rand to go to Lengiani Technology School of Shoe Design in Pretoria. This will help Kosen to advance its shoe skill design, and it will also help us with the history of shoe designing, and it will also help us get accreditation because it is a certified 8 weeks course. We are also pitching for 15,000 Rand that will help us get more machinery and equipment for our business. We are also asking for network and market access. The total amount that we are seeking is 73,000 Rand. This will help Kosen with working with CETA to provide leaderships and internships, to provide this will help Kosen to provide shoemaking leaderships and internship. It will also grow our production because we will have newly sourced hands, and it will also help us to grow our range, further develop our product, and it will help us make at least 70% profit by winter next year. Thank you. Our achievements include a certificate in clothing and manufacturing and one flagship store that is located in 9577 in Cotton Street, Edington. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Nelson. You don't have to. We enjoy the video. I enjoy it. Thank you so much. Madam Aviwe, you are up next. Please come forward and let us know by a hand clap as she comes forward. She's requested to use her familiar names.
Good. It's still morning. Good morning, Director for Inzalama Enterprise Projects, the lighter solution. Okay, this is just a list of what I'll be talking about, introducing our company and what we do. Also just an overview of what I'll be talking about, and then just getting into the crux of the matter at hand. Okay, firstly, I'm so nervous, sorry guys. Okay guys, alright. So, Zalama Enterprise Projects is essentially an IT consultancy company, web development and other professional services that we provide. We also do hardware deployment and maintenance. So currently, what our biggest revenue receivers are, we do virtual assistants. So because in 2020, nobody went to the office, essentially a lot of admin jobs became redundant. So we came up with a solution to companies, big ones and SMEs, to say, okay, you have this admin that you still need to do. Why don't you allow us to do it for you? In a sense whereby you're still at home, but we virtualize everything. You can also give us your hardware, like your hard copies of your documents, so that we can digitize them. You need a PA, but you don't need a PA every day. We've got you. You need a social media presence, but you don't have the time to do it. We've got you. So that's essentially what our virtual assistance portfolio does. And also hardware deployment. This year became one of our biggest also contributors to our revenue. So here, because everybody went back to work and companies are also growing, so if you need a laptop, you need PCs, whatever it is that you need tech-wise, we can provide that for you. And recently, this year again in May, we have developed an app for event registration. So this is what we are here to talk about today. So our latest development has been an app development, which we've given it the name event registration. So this app actually, in the past couple of months, that since May until now, it has actually amazed us, and it has grown into something that we actually didn't even think. I don't even have the words to use for it, but it has grown because it makes things easier for people going to events and the event coordinators. So what you basically do is you have an event, you have the ticket sales. So instead of filling out all your information on the app or on the website, and then waiting for you to get to the venue to only get your linear with your names and everything, you can just download your ticket, and then it will have a QR code on it. So when you get to the venue, you just scan, and then you can carry on with the day. And then this also eliminates long queues, having to wait, like most half of the day. Sometimes I went to an event in October where we actually went into the event saying our name tags wait. So they said, no, come back during the short break, and then we'll provide these for you. You understand? So it becomes an inconvenience, because now you have a person sitting next to you who wants to know who you are, and now you must talk and not listen to the speaker. So in that way, when the person says, then you can just show them by name, and then also what it also does, you can scan each other's QR codes to get each other's information. So now, if I wanted to network with Mrs. Khan, for example, I can just, instead of us having this long conversation and people need to rush somewhere else, scan the QR code, and then we can have another discussion on another day. It's beautiful. Yeah. registration right now. In South Africa, we have like about 2 or 3 events happening a week, right? Like on Tuesday, Telkom held a tech event. Last night there was a women in tech business event as well. So the event industry is growing. So the market is there for such an app. So what we, therefore attendees have time, sorry, I just lost my place now. So we've tested this app now on 3 events. So we were lucky enough when we launched the app at the end of July. We were lucky enough to do a government event. We had ups and downs because it was the first time we were using it. But then from that experience, we were able to learn and to modify and to fix the problems that we had. I mean, we've tested it 3 times and it's only crashed once. So 33.3% of it was a failure, but other 66% was fine. So the revenue in the event space is projected to reach $261 million in 2022 and is expected to show an annual growth rate of 6.25% from 2022 to 2027. So which will mean that in 2027 the revenue in events will be $353 million. This is according to Statista.com. Something about that. So how we are structuring the revenue that we get from this. So we currently charging 30% per attendee. So if a ticket costs 100 Rand, we charge you 30 Rand, right? And then let's say your event has 100 people. So that means that from that event, we will make 3,000. So from 3 events, we'll make 9,000 in revenue. So in a year, it's projected to be 108,000 from those 3 events, from those 3 companies having events every single month. Not even every single week, but every single month. Okay, so, and the current 3 customers that we have actually committed to say, listen, we like your product, and next year's, our events that we have next year, you will be doing those for us. You will be doing the registration part for us, because it's easier, it's more convenient. Our cost structure as well ensures that we incur low marginal costs by using the same program. We just edit it and simplify it, plugging in or removing whatever features the client needs or does not need. Because sometimes the client doesn't need to check how many people they've had. Because also with the QR code, you can check how many people were at that event on a specific day. Sometimes they don't want to know how many people came. Or sometimes they want to know, but they want to know like in a specific area, like the VIPs, how many VIPs came, and they don't really, lack of a better word, care about the other attendees. They just want to know the VIPs that attended, how many VIPs were there. This ensures that we keep the standard of our value proposition, which is that the client concentrates on the event without having to deal with the distractions in the registration process. Our market demand. So our clients are currently government bodies / entities and some SME event planning companies. The value of our work is to ensure that we deliver quality services to our clients all the time and ensure that we incorporate their tailored needs into every event. Currently, how we have started getting business was from referrals and also going to events and sourcing out customers at the events as well. And by doing this, we call it cold calling. And by doing this, we've actually received 4 other clients now who have said, okay, we have events next year, but we'll give you 1 event just to test out your app. And if we're impressed with that, then we we will consider putting you on board with our future events. So our critical areas right now are revenue streams, key resources, and customer segments. These are our current critical areas, revenue being our biggest one, because the problem is we're working with people who work, tend to pay, and they take long to pay invoices. Yes, we've got other streams in the company that are coming in, but now it becomes unfair for other divisions to have to pay for another division's work. And then also, it kind of lags. It lags when you say now, okay, I'm going to take from virtual assistants and in the events, because the events have been paid. But then now, the virtual assistants now also need to upgrade their systems, but now we can't upgrade their systems because the money is not there. And now, also, key resources, like, it's affecting us growing our team, because now our team can't grow, and now the team that we have needs to spread themselves very, very, very thin, and which means unhappy workers, unhappy clients. So what we currently need funding for is just to fix the revenue income, just the flow of the work, so that we're not stagnant and saying now we are taking money from here to sponsor this, and then we're taking from here to sponsor this, because it is very strenuous. Because also, when now I get an order to deliver laptops, let's say, and now I don't have that money to deliver those laptops, I must now go elsewhere to look for the funds, which now I'm also putting the business into debt. So if we essentially do get the payments, we are unable to work with what we need to do, because we have to pay the debts that we have incurred. So to solve our issue right now, we need an amount of 50,000 that will help us with back and front office support for the registration act. Because we have events in December and in January, and these months being busy months and also being the months that people will be away, we have anticipated that we are definitely not going to be paid in these 2 months. And therefore we need to make provision for the people that will be working in these 2 months, so that they don't suffer because of what is going to happen. Because personnel will be gone on holiday. And so also this is the startup part of the business. So we would like to keep the pool of clients that we have at the moment, so that we can grow it into the next level. So this is a breakdown of what we essentially need. Just back office administration, front office administration, and just salaries for the app development, the app guys. So our future plans, we plan on growing the app division to continue making our clients and future clients' lives or businesses better and simpler. Taking into consideration our core value proposition, which is to simplifying and making business for our clients bearable. In the future, we're also looking for systems to better improve our invoicing system, so that we do get paid on time. So this is our projections for the next coming months. So the gray will be the clients that we have, and then the beige side would be the events that we are anticipating to have in those months. Okay, what the funding impact? This will enable us to continue with the app development division as we started it, hopefully, and we will be able to start another app that will enable us to add more members onto the app development side. We seek to grow our youth, to give our youth a stage to showcase their talents, because this app development side did come from a young person within our company company who said, listen, I've got this idea, and maybe let's just work with it. And I was like, okay, fine. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's just run with it and see where it can go. As the app development was founded and built on the success of other divisions of the business, we hope that it will also give birth to another division of the business so that we can grow it, we can grow the company itself to greater heights. And that is my contact detail, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Can I please get a round of applause for all my teachers? We've heard from everybody, and the judges were saying we do have questions. Can we please ask them at the end? So may I please have all my teachers just come back to the stage again so that we may pose some clarity-seeking questions to you. You might have seen that we have a bit of a challenge with our mics, so I'll be moving back and forth between the judges and our teachers, just to make sure that we answer the questions. Guys, you can sit. Some judges I understand. You've been standing already, giving your presentations. All right, so we'll start with the questions. Camera guys, please be able to capture the answers as well as we go through this process. Would you say?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, guys, thank you for the pictures. I know it's a daunting exercise to stand up in front of all these people, but really you pitched well, gave it a great shot. So on my side, a few questions for each of the businesses. So I'll start with you, Afiwe. I won't be too hard on you. From a value proposition perspective, right, how is your product sort of different from what is currently existing in the market? I know there are players like Ticket Pro who essentially provide a similar service. So looking at aspects of, let's say, your pricing, your delivery model, how are you looking at competing with the big guns once you start approaching your bigger corporate clients? Must I go through all the questions, or?
Let's do one for now.
Thank you for using the question. So we have considered taking up the bigger guns. And for us, what makes our product more simple is that at Ticket Pro, right, you still get the ticket, you download the ticket, but then you still have to stand in the queue when you get to the event. Whereas our product, you get there, you scan, and you're done. So there's no standing in the queue waiting for your ticket to be looked at, to hand over your ticket, see if your name is on the list, if there is a naming list, because 80% of the time there's a naming list, to see if your name is on the list so that you can get your things. And also with our Ticket Pro and our Compute Ticket, when you have goodie bags, for example, I can give you my ticket and then you give it back to me, right? And then I can come back and say I didn't get my goodie bag. Whereas with our product, we scan, and then when you come back and say I didn't get it, it will say no, we haven't. So we won't be having such duplications, and then that means that the company, the events company, is actually spending less than what they are, instead of spending what they are spending now. Because if, let's say, they want 100 goodie bags, they now have to anticipate that others might get lost or others might duplicate and maybe buy maybe 100, 150. You understand? So our device helps that. You've received it, and when you get to the venue, you just scan and you get entries.
So how we're going to do this is that I'm just doing it this way so that if you have a follow-up question to her response, then you can at least, get the pattern. But we can move the mic along in the meantime.
So you want us to ask all the other questions?
Yes.
Good morning. Hi, thank you so much for your pitch. To everyone, I think to echo Z's words, it's always beautiful to hear business owners speak about their business because this is your baby. And so I really appreciate the effort and the respect that you've given to us and to your business. So just to appreciate you from that perspective. Okay, so you get to ask one question on the list of questions I have. No, the question that I have is, when we think about this MySpace, the marketing, meetings, incentives, conferences, and events, it's very wide. I'd be interested to know in how you're cross-pollinating within your business. So you mentioned quite a lot of how the virtual assistant business could sometimes have to fund the app business. From a positive perspective, how is it that the different divisions within the business are creating market for each other, if at all?
Thank you so much for that question as well. So, in a positive manner, they are, in a sense, creating work for each other. Because fundamentally, the app was born from the success of the other two divisions, first and foremost. And from the clients that we are getting, for example, let me just name drop. SACP, for example, was our first conference that we did. And SACP was from a virtual assistant client of mine to say, listen, I've got this event that is coming up and I need someone to help me with the registration. And I was like, funny you should say that because we have just developed this app that can help with registration. So it would be lovely for us to demo it at your event. So they do cross-pollinate in that way, and they do help each other, and somehow fund each other. But it's just that we are dealing with human beings, and sometimes it seems as if the other is giving more to the other, instead of them helping each other out or balancing each other.
Any follow-up questions? Mr. Dao?
Hi everyone. Mine to you is not really a question, but just an advice. Maybe try and get between contractor clients and ad hoc work that you do. Try and get more contracts than the ad hoc, because the contracts get to sustain that cash flow that you mentioned, because sometimes you have to rob this department to pay the other, so on and so forth. Yeah. But anyway, good luck.
Thank you guys. Can you just give a hand clap to Cesar? Answered your questions very articulately. Thank you, Cesar. Putunzi, who do you want to ask next?
Don't worry, my questions are cool. So two things. So you're in the retail space in essence. So one, I wanted to find out more about your current distribution model. So how do you get the product out there? And two, sort of your approach and positioning. Are you looking at it as a niche product, or are you looking at mass market appeal? So how are you approaching this business?
Thank you for your question. Our distribution channels, we sell at our own store, which is in Davidson. We also go to a lot of markets and events. We also sell on social media. WhatsApp is the most platform that we use for selling, and we also have been making revenue through Facebook. And it's easy to reach a lot of people, especially outside of housing through Facebook. And regarding our market, we initially, when we got into the footwear industry, our niche market was the African inspired people. But when we continue growing in the industry and tapping more into it, we realized that we can do bigger than having just a niche market of the African footprint. That is why we want to go to school to further grow our skill and develop our product so that it is beyond what it is now.
Any follow-up?
Hi, Nene. Firstly, well done for having broken even within a year of operating. I think that is incredible. One of the questions you had for us was, or asked, was you're looking for network and market access. What does that look like for you?
Being the person who wants to go into manufacturing, I want to manufacture for retail stores. I want big customers, or especially ones that are already established in retail, to come forward to give us their own designs for us to manufacture for them, because there's not a lot of companies in South Africa that do that. Instead, a lot of shoes are being imported into the country, so we would like to reduce that.
Hi, Minister. My thinking around your market access is that there's a lot of grants from your DTIs and the likes, usually for marketing, that probably go through, because you already have the product, you can prove a few sales and stuff like that. And when it comes to market access, there's people called buyers in these retail places, from hardware stores to clothing to textile and stuff like that. If you can, I don't know where you start, but if you can familiarize yourself with the buyers, those are the guys that decide what we should wear. That's how it works. So.
Thank you. Can I please get another round of applause for the session?
Cool. Senzeni. Cool. I think it's more of a comment on my side. From a value proposition perspective. So the space that you operating in, and there's usually a lot of players that are in the space doing similar work, be it printing, ad agency, graphic design services, especially at gas. Barriers to entry to that market are quite low. So if I get the skill again from my home, the same way you used to do, right? Set up a business to compete with you. So my question is more along, how do you compete with those guys who just wake up and say, okay, I'm going to enter this space? How have you essentially tried to create a presence for yourself or a reputation within your locality?
Thank you. I think the first thing is our target audience and also the value that we are promising. So as I mentioned on the pitch, that a huge percentage of our clients comes from SMEs. So as much as we can compete with new players who are starting the business, but someone who has already started a business knows exactly the quality that they want for their brand. So the way we've established ourselves is in a way that we are attracting businesses that are already existing, businesses that are looking to grow, and even other agencies that are doing
the work that we are doing, they are coming to us to do some of the work. However, they take the credit for it because it's like they are outsourcing the service. So one of the major reasons why we want to also provide the large format printing service is because all these players that are in the space, they are not offering that. So we can actually turn them into clients where they can come and print for their clients as well.
You must have a musician too. You know how to music, you might have food.
So, yeah, I think my question is probably linked to Z's one. As you were presenting, you had a pie chart with your different customers, with the proportion that they contribute to your revenue. I'm quite interested to know how you manage costs within the business. So looking at the customers that you service and how they pay you, how is it that you manage costs?
The nature of our business currently, we do not have a lot of cost because it is a service based. So as I also mentioned that the large amount of our revenue, it comes from graphic designing. So graphic designing doesn't have a lot of cost. And when it comes to our expenses, it's mostly your subscriptions for the softwares that we are using and the platform, but and obviously salaries as well. But when it comes to cost, we don't have a lot of cost or cost of sales, so to say.
Follow up? Mr. Dow?
There's a lot of people that do what you do, but in my little experience in the digital space and stuff, what you do, I was told that some people keep recording all sorts of programs or events or whatever it is that your content, so that they can sell them to various TV stations or radio stations and stuff. I'm sure you know that. And I won't mention that name being recorded, but there's one American guy who got his break because he had a whole lot of recorded stuff, and one day a TV station was like, we shot off 10 programs, and he had like 50, and that's how he started making this money. He's a black American guy, I won't say his name, but I'm just saying to you, that's another option besides what you're doing. You sometimes record or collect what you think is missing in the industry as a content that you can sell, as a niche that you can sell to all the networks that you can sell. I hope I'm making it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nze.
Thank you. Katu. Super. Great app that you're developing. I like how you outlined in terms of potential size of the market. A question I have on my side is on your financial model. So I was picking up that it's currently based sort of on a best case scenario, right? And it's always prudent when you're running financial models to look at various scenarios. So in your scenario, for example, you have bookings every single hour. And what is the likelihood in terms of, let's say, you run a salon, it being at uptime 24/7, 7 days a week? So you say that, for example, let's say the salon is open for 8 hours, and I'm the person who does the hair, I will book my slot for 1 hour. Your assumption on the app currently is every single slot will be taken. And that's what incentivizes the business owner to opt away from the fixed rental model to the variable rental model. So if that financial model is slightly off, it disincentivizes the business owner. So it's just my question there. How would you address that potential issue of there being periods where those bookings don't come in?
Great question. With the booking cost being charged at an hourly rate, it's more than I can say it's more than what most saloon owners right now charge. When you divide what they get on at the end of the month, when you work the numbers, what they are getting now, it's less. It will be. They will make more through an hourly rate than what they are making now. Because if someone who's paying 20 rand an hour, normally someone who, okay, let me answer it this way. A person, a barber who pays 2,000, basically per day, if the saloon is open for 8 hours, 5 days a week, the saloon owner is getting 12 rand 50 cents. If my numbers are not off, but it's somewhere there. But if that saloon owner is to do the book, is to use our option, they will be making 20 rand an hour. So that should be able to cover the times when the bookings are dry. Yes.
Thank you, Katu. Thank you for bringing us an innovation. This is an interesting time to be in tech, an interesting time to be developing a digital solution. So if I think of our friends at Uber, you have drivers on the one hand, and then you've got passengers or riders on the other. Can you talk to us about any testing that you've done on the app? So the salon, those are the drivers, and then you've got the barbers, those are the riders.
The only testing that I've done so far is to work out the numbers. Like I just answered Ubuti. Then what I picked up was there's more money that saloon owners can make, and also barbers, they get to keep, instead of paying the 2,000 rand, you can just schedule your guys. They've got the clients already. You can just book at the saloon. Instead of paying the 2,000 rand, you can just say, if you're a student, you can just say, no, on Saturdays, this will be my side hustle. I'll just book 5 hours, 100 rand, but I get to make maybe 2,000 rand every Saturday. So nobody really gets to lose money. I'm not sure if I answered the question.
You said you don't have a prototype, right? You need to have one, because when you justify your market research that you're talking about now, people also want to see numbers. I'm a financier and a whole lot of other people in here. Numbers speak a better language than the theory side of things. Because right now this is just projections. But you can't prove it. I can't prove it. If you were to go to a financier tomorrow and say, I would like to have 50,000 to start my prototype or my app, how would you justify the repayments when you don't have the actual figures, but it's only theory? So start with to avoid the frustration, start with the prototype, test a few whatever clients, then at least you have a record of some sort that you can display. I think it should work that way. You've done your market research, that's okay. But start the app now.
Can we please get a round of applause?
Eugene, I think your business is essentially similar to Sensei. So I'll pose a similar question in terms of just your positioning in the market, how you compete with other players. And another thing which I think across board with all the candidates and everyone who presented, I think echoing your sentiments, is your numbers are not clear. So for example, we're here today to run a pitch session where you guys want access to finance, the languages, numbers, right? But from your presentations, I can't pick up what your revenues are, whether your businesses are profitable, how also the funds that you require will unlock business growth.
Sure.
So with the piece of equipment, my question would be, would that double your turnover, would that triple your turnover? What kind of financial impact is it going to have on your business?
Thank you so much for the beautiful question. So basically, let me start by saying the competitors. How am I going to deal with the competitors? So, like I said before, I'm actually looking for wide format printing machine, and there is also a lamination there. So which means these are two things. So which means the wide format printing machine, it can be it will actually get a good quality from the lamination. So obviously we have already taken out the market because they don't do the lamination when it comes to wide format printing. So and then another thing is that our software, the software that I'm using actually, it actually goes in hand with the software that is used by most of the franchise, most of the printing franchise. Obviously, those ones, they are using a quality software. So we have realized that we'd rather go for an expensive software so that at the end of the day we can deliver a quality printing format. And then when it comes to the revenue stream, actually based on the calculation, like I said it before, that 70% of the revenue that I receive is from the printing. But because I do not have the printing machine, I end up going out and actually outsource the printing for me. So which means the moment I get the printing, I promise to actually put at least about 30% of revenue in that regard. Thank you. Clap hands.
Eugene, thank you for being a source of entertainment for us. So my question is linked to your market. You just mentioned now that 70% of your market comes from printing. In markets in general, but this one in particular, because there's so many competitors, customers tend to be quite fickle. So they'll go to whoever gives them the best price. And you had a slide where you spoke to us about your customer acquisition channels. Talk to us about customer retention. So how is it that you get customers coming back to you in the space that's so competitive?
Okay. Basically, how I actually get customer retention is that the other thing that I've realized is that in a business you need to understand the business language. So basically we do negotiations, and at some point we do have like a good customer relationship, of which it actually put me in a stage whereby the customer will be like, wow, this is a professional a business place, or maybe this is a professional person that I'm talking to. So the other thing that actually develop our business to be on the peak is that we consistently learning. So we actually attend a lot of programs online so that we can actually be able to deliver to our customer.
Eugene, you mentioned that during COVID era, the revenue went down. You're an IT solution guy.
I think I can have witnesses in here that that's when the IT guys make the most money during that time. Because everybody was frustrated with Teams or with video, whatnot, Zoom, or you name it. Not happening. Either you need to upgrade your services or you're going to be in trouble. Most of us here still work from home. So that needs to change. Unless you want to focus on printing, that's it. That's another topic. But when it comes to IT, I almost raise my hand and say, no, you're not telling the truth. But you get the point, right? Yeah. You need to do things remotely. I've never seen our IT guy at the office, but he always resolves things. Okay.
On cause about now, you know.
Thank you. Perfect. You can relax. Why are you so worried? Cool. It's more comments on my side than questions. I think the only question is around one, your grading. What's your grading for your GB and CE? Then on the comment side, just be aware of your concentration risk. So you've got all your chips in one bag. If anything happens to your primary client, your business is essentially going to collapse. So try and identify other clients that you can work with. Don't get too comfortable in just having that one client. I know it is easier just giving work, but you're missing out on the business development skill of also going out and trying to source new clients. So definitely work on that. And then two, construction, highly competitive industry, right? Dog eat dog world. So I always recommend to some of my clients, as much as you might do both GB and CE, you need to build a reputation in one. So that if clients want civil works, they know that you are the person to go to, because it's completely different civil and general building. So just start building a competency in one and really specialize it. Like in GB, if you grade with concrete, for example, you start building a reputation that you're excellent at that. So try and find different niches within the space as much as it is competitive. Try and build your name in one segment of it.
Thank you, Budinzo. It's just a comment, no question.
Yeah.
Just quickly before I pass on the mic, can I just ask my colleagues to please check the scorecard and make sure that all the judges have put in their scores and we are happy with it.
Perfect, thank you for your presentation. So mine is a comment, not really a question. The first maybe 4 minutes of your presentation, I feel like I know more about ENZA than about your business. So what I'm left with are questions on, okay, so what is it that your business should be known for? If I had an opportunity, what is it that I would call you for? So my comment is lead with that. Lead with your expertise, lead with your experience, lead with what your service provision is. So that's the first thing. The second one is, so in my previous life, I used to work within the enterprise and supplier development space, specifically to drive some of the partnerships that you have with ENZA. Now, embedded in that is a risk that if one day the guys at ENZA decide we're done with buffet dinner, then buffet dinner for real. And so one of the things that I'd like you to think about is when you think about your go-to-market strategy, how are you diversifying your customers? Some of them will be large, some of them will be smaller. So are they, you had a slide up that spoke about doing 10 houses and one. So how is it that you're actually doing that, and that's taking away that risk from ENZA? So that's the main thing that stood out for me. I was wondering, so what is it that your business does? Because that's actually why we're here. Thanks.
But there's one thing I picked up, but I didn't. you're a beneficiary of ENSA. Is it through a program? Supply Development Program. They provide projects or work, but they don't provide finance.
No, they do provide finance. Like I indicated to say, there was because of a decline in 2021 and 2020,
The COVID era,
they
yeah.
couldn't cover all the companies that they sent in. So we are the group that is going to be covered in 2020.
Okay, so the goodies are coming in 2024. I'm saying that because in most cases I know that if you're a beneficiary of a particular corporate or entity, they will give you, they will even pay you upfront half of the money that you need to invoice.
Sorry, but
It's okay.
unfortunately with me, it wasn't the case because they had, like, normally they don't have other beneficiaries that they've signed before us. Then they would extend their contract, or what is their contract. Then because we were new, they opted to still fund the old beneficiaries than us who are new.
Okay, and most people still have the capacity, so to speak. Okay.
So, but then otherwise, that is not to say they don't consider us.
Yeah.
The promise was that by next year, their end of their year, what is it? Their year.
Financial year.
Yes, it's in June of, in
This
June,
month.
so, not in June.
In June next year. Okay.
So that's where we'll follow.
That's really cool. Good luck with it.
So again, just to clear it up, I heard say you were mentioning that I put my eggs in one bag. The aim of having to take some time is for me to focus on learning more than having to quickly go out there and market myself. Rather, I learn the inside of the industry and then on how to supply good quality work first before I can start, going out there. I'm still 1 year with them, so actually in few months. So I'd rather I take my time than rushing into making money. Then the next thing you don't deliver good quality services. So yeah,
That's a good start. Thank you.
Our judges have asked the questions that they want to ask, but I want to open up for comments and just in closing, with final remarks that you would like to put to the guys. Are you ready with your final remarks?
I think I already alluded to some of them, but critical aspect, value proposition, how you differentiate yourself in the market. That must be something that you're constantly thinking about, right? It's all great coming up with products, new services, addressing problems, but if you're not differentiated in the markets you operate in, your growth is going to be limited. Then 2, numbers. I know for entrepreneurs, it's usually the scariest element, but if you're going to grow as a business person, you need to know and understand your numbers. So if you're not ready, you're not there yet, it's time to start learning. Unfortunately, there's no alternative. You can't get a chartered accountant or bookkeeper to do it on your behalf. You yourself, as the business owner, need to know your numbers. So those would be the key aspects. But guys, great presentations, love your energy, really great work that you're doing. So I would implore for you to continue, keep striving, keep pushing.
I want to start by giving a round of appreciation for all the other business owners in the room who didn't get to pitch. Thank you for we don't take for granted that your hourly rate is significant. Yeah, so thank you for that. To the business owners that pitched, thank you for inviting us into your lives, because this is your daily bread. So appreciate that. 2 things from my side. Revenue is great. It's really wonderful to post revenue. But if you have revenue of 10 million and your costs are 999,999, your profit is 1 rand. So, and that's the reason I asked the question about costs. because it's quite easy to focus on customer acquisition and finding new customers and chasing after the revenue number. But if you're not managing the cost side of it, it makes any kind of funding that you'd want to apply for or receive very difficult. So the cost management side. So it might be clear in your minds, but when you're talking to a funder, we're looking at profitability or growth towards profitability. The second thing is around diversification of customer base. So whoever it is, so whether it's within the SME sector, and I noted some, but also NGOs, I think it was yourselves, and then on the retail side as well. That's quite important. So different customers will pay you at different times. So I'm actually alluding to a cash flow management or working capital management point. So if you're concentrated to a single type of customer or a single sector within that customer base, that actually infringes on your ability to manage your working capital or rather your cash flow. So how you think about who your customers that you go to are, think about the cycles in which they will be paying in as well. And I think the last one, it's mostly to Aviwe and Katu, is to test the market. So in the digital or app space, one of the most important measures you have is adoption. So the number of users that download the app, but then the number of users that actually use the app. And so that level of penetration and how you demonstrate that through either beta tests, so some kind of minimum viable product that you can demonstrate is quite helpful as well, because that helps us understand how well you understand the market. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, mine is a generic advice, maybe, call it that. I sit in investment committees, screening committees, steering committees, and stuff like that. There's usually two things that people want to hear. People who want to give you money want to hear what you have to say. One of them is, can you prove repayment? If all of you were given that money today, would you be able to pay the first installment at the end of November? Okay? And again, market access is not easy, but it's as crucial as the product that you make. Number two, you guys are experts in everything we do here. Everybody's an expert. I'm just an accountant. You know better. You must never undersell yourself or think that you're asking for too much money, or think that people will judge you based on what you say. I don't make you. I can't. You're the expert. You're supposed to teach me the potential financing, how it works, and the reality of it, and the market research that was done like Katu's market research is just that he needs an app to prove that what he's saying is possible. Number three, you must also go for grants where possible. I'm not saying everybody has a grant, but your DTIs and your CEDAs and sometimes we don't need to borrow money that needs to be paid back. We can get grants just to reduce our cost and stuff like that. And lastly, similar to the grant one, ESD, enterprise and supply development. Afedile is a beneficiary of an ESD program, and sometimes that's the route you need to take before you really become independent. Just be that beneficiary who is under training and internship, whatever we call them, and
Guys, we are drawing towards a close. Thank you so much for being patient with the program. We are mindful of the time. But can I just get another round of applause for my pitcher? Another quick round of applause for my judges. I cannot close without opening at least for one or maybe two questions from the audience. You guys have been such a lovely audience. And I'm sure you have been sitting there listening. You might have a question to pose to the judges that's in line with what you've heard through the pitches. Is there anyone like that that I will not close out, who has a very strong burning question?
Good afternoon, or hi judges. My name is President Tembo. My question is very simple. How do we get contact with you guys if we want to consult or want advisors or opportunities in the field that you are in? Thank you.
But it just
Ask Technoserve.
Thank you for that. Do I have just one? I know the time is gone, but guys, you've been such a lovely audience. But also there is a
Hi, everyone.
My question is to the judges. So I have two questions for you guys. The first question, what do you value most in your business? And the second question, what is the future of your business within the digital world and for industrial revolution?
Any of my pitchers want to take this quick question before I close? What is the future of you heard the question, please.
The first question, my answer to that, what I value most in my business, I value my team, because I don't think that we would be here if it wasn't a collective contribution to the growth of the business. And when it comes to moving into the fourth industrial revolution or being competitive in the space, we are providing digital services as well. So we are there already, and there are services that we are providing which are in line with the technology and where it's moving to.
To answer the first question, I would say that the one thing that I value the most in my business, I would say it's my principles and the principles of the company. I really believe that they are what drives me and what drives the vision of the company, Kose. And moving into the future, for us, it would actually be to going back to the olden days. We are taking it back to nature, taking it back to who we are as African people, taking it back to walking in the footsteps of our ancestors. That is what is Kose. So, yeah.
A hand clap, guys. Once again, a big thank you to everyone that contributed. I would like to ask my boss to come up front so we can hand over the prize money. I would like to ask my auditor to come up front or Mr. Dow.
I just want to say something before the big boss. I'm currently looking for people with purchase orders. If you have any purchase orders, you'll get my contact details from Technoserve, and you can call me from 2 p.m. and we can talk.
Please take him up on his offer. He's the one who volunteered the offer. Let's take him up on his offer. All right, we've been tallying the score from the judges, and we believe we do have our pitch winner. And let me just explain the prize money a little bit. I know that the guys were asking for different amounts as they were pitching. It is encouraged that you always know what amounts are needed for your business and what you're going to do with that money. This is just a big thank you for pitching. This is meant to go back and be reinvested into your business, but it's not necessarily what you were asking for. Right. I've got in my auditor. brought my big boss to hand over the check. I've brought in my auditor who was looking at the scores. I'm washing my hands of this process.
Yes, hello everyone. I can confirm that I've looked at the numbers and everything is in place. Thank you to all the judges and thanks for your time.
So who gets our prize money?
We've got two.
Oh, we've got two.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's just put this one on, and then just start this one.
We are ready. We are ready. If I had a drum roll, I'd have it right now. We'll be starting with number 2. And our runner-up is, this is our number 2. Okay. Yay. Well done, sis lady.
This is real, man. It's not gonna
And for our number 1, hey man, number 1 please. And our number 1 is. Guys, I've taken way too much of your time. We are way over this but thank you so much for your patience with the program. I believe it was a very successful day too. I'm sure you'll agree. Now, I'm hoping that you guys are making it back tomorrow for day 3 as well. I'm going to hand over to my MCs when I say a little bit about that. We still have an agenda tomorrow, but we are just wrapping up now. From my side, thank you so much. You've been such a
Wasn't that just lovely? So many lessons. You don't have to pitch to learn, but you can be sitting there and picking up from what they say. And something that really stood out for me is the fact that you need to know your name. You have it here, right? But you need to put it out there such that so articulately and so clearly that the person hearing can understand. Because you have it in your brain, and sometimes when you put it out there, people are not able to exactly understand what you're doing. Thank you very much for being an awesome audience. Give yourselves a round of applause. To our pitching contestants for the day, round of applause as well. And finally, to our judges, a big round of applause to our judges. And that brings to conclusion the end of the second day. I believe that everybody has picked up something from here. Tomorrow, we're having the final session, and tomorrow we're going to be talking deeper about finances. We're going to be talking about procurement, processes, credit ratings, compliance. And a lot of people suffered because of compliance. When COVID hit and they said, okay, we want registered companies, people did not have their papers in place. As a result of that, people missed out on opportunities to make money during COVID because of compliance purposes. So we're going to be talking compliance, and we're also going to have a fashion show tomorrow. It's a showstopper event that you guys do not want to miss. And one thing that I really appreciate about this event, and I know I'm biased because I work with Technoserve, is that we are including you. The people that are going to be showcasing their stuff is actually you. The people that pitch today is actually you. It's not us bringing somebody in to come and talk about how they made it or how they want to make it. It's us saying township entrepreneurship needs to go forward. And for us to see that happen, we need to bring transformative change. And I'm glad that we are able to do that even during this event. And so tomorrow, we're going to have a panelist that are going to dive deeper into the very issues that I just spoken about. But most importantly, guys, sometimes we don't become relevant in a sense of conversation with the panelists because we don't do our homework. So I urge you, find out what IDF offers, find out what Old Mutual offers, so that tomorrow, when you ask questions, the questions will be much more informed because they are based on the homework you have done. Unlike them having to repeat what we offer, this is how we've been offering for the last 5 years, and we're going to be doing it like this for the next 10 years. Get to know them so that in the end, you then can ask pertinent questions that can then get you through that in terms of what they offer. Thank you very much to everybody for coming through today. That's the end of our session. This is a moment for us to also engage and network. Please do not leave this place without talking to somebody about your business, telling them what you're offering, and also getting to know what they're doing as well. There's still an exhibition downstairs if you want to get to see what some of the products you guys have created look like. And there's a moment for you guys to leave something, say something to somebody, leave a word of wisdom and encouragement to somebody, so that they leave here pumped up, also feeling that they left with something over here. And food is on the other side. We've made it such that we do not have heavy food, so that we can spark conversations. So let's start the conversation rolling. Thank you very much.
Go for it.